If you believe you may have any information regarding this case, you are urged to contact the McLean County Coroner's Office on 309-888-5210. Alternatively, you could contact the McLean County Sheriff's Office on 309-888-5034. This video features discussions of suicide. Viewer discretion is advised. At around 1:50 p.m. on the 2nd of February 1982, police were called to a scene along US Route 136, near rural Leroy in McLean County, Illinois. Upon arrival, they found the body of a woman hanging from a utility pole in plain sight. The woman in question carried no means of identification. There were no signs of foul play at the scene or on the body, so a verdict of suicide was reached. Despite this, it was reported that authorities were unable to rule out other possibilities entirely until the decedent was conclusively identified. The victim was of Caucasian descent and had an olive complexion. She is believed to have been anywhere from 25 to 50 years old, though she was most likely between 35 and 45. A forensic expert was of the opinion she looked older than she actually was, as she, quote, appeared as though she had not taken care of herself, unquote. She stood approximately 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed about 140 pounds. Her shoulder-length hair was black and ever so slightly greying. Her eyes were either hazel or light brown. There were no signs of her ever having given birth. She was a smoker, but her dentition was in fair repair, with every tooth minus the third molars remaining. However, her gums were receding, perhaps as a result of her brushing too hard or too often. Additionally, her upper front teeth were severely crowded, causing her right upper tooth to noticeably jut outwards. She was found wearing a brown 3/4 length sheepskin coat, a maroon V-neck sweater atop a rust-coloured cowl-neck sweater, a white size 36C bra, a pair of beige knit gloves, a pair of blue jeans, black pantyhose, one white sock and one grey sock, and a pair of brown lace-up earth shoes in a size 8 or 9. In her pocket she carried a pack of Pall Mall cigarettes, a pack of Now cigarettes, a grey Bic lighter, a packet of M&Ms, 7 keys on a keychain, and a small unspecified amount of US currency. The tax stamps on her cigarette packets were traced to southwestern Illinois and southeastern Indiana. One of the keys she held was traced back to a locksmith based in New York City. This key also had an address stamped on it, though further investigation revealed this address did not actually exist. A post-mortem image of the victim is available. This may disturb some, but is being shown for identification purposes only. If you are sensitive to seeing images of deceased individuals, you may want to look away. The post-mortem image has now been replaced. Shortly before she took her own life, the woman was seen walking along the side of Route 136 by several individuals. First a farmer and then a state highway crew. The farmer asked if he could help her, and she responded by pointing in 2 different directions and then declining his offer. The crewmen also asked if they could be of any assistance. In reply, she simply smiled and waved them off. Within hours of this interaction taking place, she was found deceased. 2 people who'd given the victim a ride while she was hitchhiking into McLean County on the day she died also came forward, though very little is known about their interactions with her. The Doe Network states the following, quote, "Prior to death, people having contact with the victim indicated that she was not mentally stable," unquote. I should note the Doe Network is the only source of this information that I could find during my research. This fact was not further elaborated on, and their definition of the term mentally unstable remains unclear. Authorities followed up on over 50 additional leads, though they managed to eliminate every single one. When over 10 months passed and the woman remained unidentified, she was buried in an unmarked grave at the Scogan Hill Cemetery in Bloomington. 8 people, the coroner, 3 journalists, the gravedigger, the reverend, and 2 funeral home employees, attended her funeral paid for by the Illinois Department of Public Aid. Decades later, she remains in that unmarked grave, still known only as Jane Doe. According to the Doe Network, Jane Doe's fingerprints are not available for comparison, though her dental information is. They also state a DNA sample was taken, though tests were incomplete as of December 2019. McLean County Jane Doe was somebody's daughter. She might have been somebody's sister or somebody's significant other. Someone out there, be they a friend or family member of hers, has to be wondering where she is and what happened. Since 1982, she's been nameless. It's about time for her to be reunited with her identity. At the very least, she deserves that. Several missing people have officially been ruled out as being this victim. Please check the description of this video for a list of these rule-outs. Again, if you believe you may have any information regarding this case, you are urged to contact one of the following: the McLean County Coroner's Office on 309-888-5210, or the McLean County Sheriff's Office on 309-888-5034. Thank you very much for giving McLean County Jane Doe's case a moment of your day.